And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. As always, visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com to download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get down to Dayton, Kentucky, Wednesday through Sunday. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15%. Or go to the app. They will deliver right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. I know we have been bad at this lately for obvious reasons. We are trying to figure everything out, trying to find a new rhythm in how these things go. I will be honest, one part of that rhythm that I knew would be different is the I'm now a single dad kind of dynamic. We had talked about going live tonight. Instead, I spent like almost an hour just hanging out with Kels. And that was not something I initiated. She came down from her room. She laid on the floor in my office up against our dogs and messed with our dogs, and we had a lot of daddy-daughter time. And that is, if we're going to be honest, new. That was peek behind the curtain. When I would be in here doing this, she would be with Kelly, and they would be watching bad TV, and I don't know if this means I have to watch like Floribama, whatever God, that is. Was that
for your sake? I hope not.
Well, that's what they did for fun. While I would be in here doing this, that's what they would be doing for fun.
Well, maybe I know that sometimes she enjoys catching some sports ball with you, so maybe you can talk her into sports ball.
I think when volleyball season hits, we'll be watching volleyball. I think there's a very good chance of that. Other than that, we just sat here and talked for like an hour tonight, and it was awesome. From a dad perspective, awesome. But it changed the plans of the Nightcap, so we are recording tonight. And you guys are just going to have to deal with that sometimes because life is different now. I don't have any control over that. It just is. So here we are. And that's okay. It's part of whatever, I hate this term. I know people talk about it, use it incorrectly all the time. It is my new normal because her and I are, there's, I don't have to say it. I can't say it because I'll cry.
All right. Well, in much lighter news, there was a Bearcat Journal announcement today.
There was. Keegan Nickerson is joining staff. He is, in a lot of ways, on the content side on the website. Going to be kind of, I don't want to, like, my right-hand man in a lot of ways in terms of content on the website. Aaron became my right-hand man in building up this digital audio, video content network to a level that nobody else in town is even close to matching. I felt I needed someone boots on the ground in Cincinnati with a passion for UT similar to what we have.
So what I was supposed to be doing before I had a baby and had to move away.
This is me hiring Aaron again. For those, and Keegan is going to join us tomorrow night on the BCJ podcast to kind of give his backstory and kind of let everyone know like who he is and what he's about. I will tell you this. Keegan is a rising star in this business. I don't know how long we're going to have him because I think he is that good. He would seek me out at AAU tournaments, AAU basketball tournaments. He's graduating from IU next month. And about 2.5 years ago, he started working for the IU Rival site. He has become one of their main contributors, a critical piece of the puzzle at the IU Rival site. He is graduating in May. He hit me up, probably 6 weeks ago? 2 months ago, something like that. I don't know at all.
Don't ask me. You didn't tell me until it was done and over.
So I hired him. Yeah.
You didn't want to jinx it.
He said, "Hey, I want to come home. I'm graduating. I need a job. I want to come home and cover UC. Can I do that for you?" And for me, from getting to know him at AAU events and learning and kind of following him and doing my research on would this guy be good with us, the answer was absolutely yes. And when he said he was available and I could get him, I jumped through the window at that opportunity. So I am really excited. I know that some stuff on the website, some of the written content is not where it should be. And I know people expect that. And Keegan is going to be a massive factor in elevating the website and the content, the written content that is produced on BCJ. It's not going to change anything here other than, I'm going to require him to do audio and video content because that's what we do. We'll see. We're working on a path for that. But I'm really, really excited to get Keegan in the fold. He's a talented writer. He's a great dude. And he's from Cincinnati. He loves UC. I think this is going to be a perfect fit for what we needed to add to the team.
There you go.
So I'm excited. I'm super excited. He's going to be there with you guys on Saturday, and you guys are going to get kind of a firsthand look of he was like, "You're not going to be there." I'm like, "No, but the whole team will be there. They will all be judging you."
In other news, the Bearcats baseball team did take a win in 10 innings, 7-5 against the Red Hawks of Miami today, part of the Joe Nuxall Classic. So I believe they're 1-1 now in the Joe Nuxall Classic, as they did lose to Wright State last Tuesday, but they end up with the win today.
You want to know what I think of Keegan? He's a young that guy. He's me. He's me back in the early days. He's hungry and he wants to be great.
That doesn't bode well for him if he's looking at you now.
He might age poorly. I think he's going to age better than me, but back then, pretty striking young fellow. Football practice today. It is the last time that things will be open prior to the spring game on Saturday. Generally, the way this goes down is the day before, the practice before the spring game is more of a walkthrough. It's not like a full pad practice, so it's closed to the media Thursday. So we did just a production note. We did have Satterfield today. Aaron and I didn't have a chance to get it up on the website first. So Aaron will watch that tomorrow. We will do Talking on tomorrow's show, unless
a Wednesday edition
happens. Yeah, that's on me. I just didn't have the time to get it. And with the new fancy camera, those videos take a little bit longer to produce. But yeah, that's when you get it in 4K, it takes a little extra time. But I did also talk to Malik Van. I talked to Jack Dingle. So those will both be up on the website tonight as well. This quarterback battle is going to be interesting. We talked about it a little last night. I'm sure Dave and I will talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. But I think this is a very interesting time for the coaching staff, Aaron, because I do not get the sense. that they have the ability to slow play this. I think both of these guys are going to want an answer. Who is QB1 coming out of the spring and going into the summer? They are both 6-year guys. Maybe they hear an answer that makes them think, I'm going to stay and try to win this job. But I think both deserve to know where things stand. And when I say that, this guy is QB1 going into the summer. I think they're going to get that.
Well, the interesting thing here for me is if Emory Jones were to leave, I think that somebody would take a flyer on him trying to make him QB1 at their school. If Ben Bryant were to leave, I don't know that he gets that same opportunity at the same levels that Emory Jones would. And I only say that because of the injury that he's coming off of. Obviously, this staff knows that he's well ahead of schedule from where they expected him to be at this point in time. But I don't know. I don't know how that would look for him if both, all things being equal, if they both entered the transfer portal right now. I think the offers would be higher for Emory Jones.
Maybe. I think here's kind of the biggest problem that either of them will have in that scenario. Most places are going to want to know coming out of spring, like who they're going to already have that.
Sure. Have a quarterback already.
Now, maybe there's, and I don't follow enough around the country to know if there's, a team that had their quarterback get hurt in spring ball or they didn't like what they saw from the options that they had.
And I guess maybe that's another question mark here is if you do enter the portal, are you going just to another quarterback battle as opposed to this quarterback battle?
That you missed out on spring ball. Somebody else that's already been there has all of those reps.
Yeah. And
then you're going into camp. That's why I'm not saying.
It's tricky. It's certainly tricky. And it sucks for both these guys. Whichever one the staff ends up telling, you're not right now QB1. Ben's fought his ass off to be a Bearcat. This is the third.
I think everybody is shocked that Ben was able to participate in spring ball as much as he was.
You saw Ryan's reaction last night. He was surprised.
Everybody was. I don't think anybody when it was Liz Frank in November, everybody was like, well, Ben's screwed until May, June.
Yeah.
July. Before that thing, heals and allows him to get out there.
I mean, the last time we saw him at Nippert prior to spring was on a scooter.
Yeah.
Doing senior day.
Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting to see where that goes. They're not going to do a straight, divide the roster in half scrimmage on Saturday. So I imagine you'll see Ben get some reps with the ones, Emory Jones get the reps with the ones.
So kind of like we saw last year with
where
Evan.
You take some reps with the ones, and the other one goes with the twos, and then they flip, and one goes with the ones, the other one goes with the twos. You'll see a little bit of variety there, I think, between the two of them. Evan is not going to go. He's had some shoulder issues that I think were, from talking to people, bothering him last year, but he didn't say anything because this is how athletes work. Guess what? If you're in a battle for a spot and you can not disclose an injury and make yourself out for a month or miss a couple weeks or be shut down or whatever, a lot of guys just won't say anything. And
the best ability
in Evan.
The best ability is availability.
So he's not going to be available. You will get to see, I imagine, some Brady Lichtenberg and Brady Drogosh.
The Bradys.
At times. Yeah. I don't know how to really describe offensively what we've seen other than, look, the running game has been really good. I've been really impressed with the holes that have been opening up. with the number of 5, 6, 7, 8-yard runs that we've seen from this team. Miles Montgomery and Corey Kiner have both been really good. Corey had a really good day today. Miles had a good day yesterday. Like, both of them have had pretty strong showings through the spring. The passing game, it's so hard to say. Like, D. Wiggins is back. He had last week, he hit his tailbone pretty hard going up for a ball in the end zone, making a play on a jump ball. He's back to full speed. He is clearly a high-level receiver. A guy like Donovan Ollie has been solid. He did have a 35-yard touchdown catch today.
Nice.
You're starting to see guys like, Barry Jackson had a good day. Leslie Ando, the walk-on slot receiver, he's a redshirt freshman from Dublin, has been – I know we kind of laughed about it in the beginning when people were like, this kid could probably help us. And it was like, okay, yeah, that's because you have 3 wide receivers in the wide receiver room. Of course, you love the walk-on, right? That's how coaches work.
Right.
But through camp, it's actually been like, he's got some skills.
I guess the only thing that I'm considering when I'm looking at the receiving group during the spring game is I don't think it's anywhere near complete for what we're going to see come kickoff.
There's going to be a couple guys. There has to be a couple guys added to that.
Right. So I would just, I guess I'm just kind of taking it with a grain of salt as to whatever the passing game ends up producing. Also, given the fact that if Emory Jones is the guy that you're not going to get to see the full 3 dimensions of Emory Jones, right? You're only going to get to see it in 2D because is he really going to be running out there and taking a pop? No,
absolutely not.
Right. So it's just, you're losing an entire dimension of his game. So
yeah. It's Saturday's going to be interesting.
It'll be that for sure.
Envious that I don't get to be there, but I will rely on you guys to provide all the details. Maybe Aaron Dave nightcap Saturday night while I'm on the road being volleyball dad.
If not Dave, we have Brent, we have Reagan. I don't know that if Keegan's going to want to hop back on the network or not, but there's plenty of options.
Yeah. Well, I figure Brent's going to write something. Keegan's going to write something. Maybe you and Dave and Reagan, if she wants to jump in, knock out a nightcap on Saturday night. However, we'll figure it out. But
we always do.
There will be a ton of content coming from the spring game on Saturday, and there's just a little primer, and we'll be back tomorrow night, Dave and I, for the BCJ pod. Like I said, Keegan will join us, and we'll have plenty to talk about otherwise. That is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!